What do you like the most about your home?
Well, to be honest, I am keen on a variety of things in my home. In my home back when I was a child. Having said that, the things I like the most is that I had my own bedroom and I didn't have to share it with my siblings, whereas nowadays I have to share my bedroom with my younger sisters, and sometimes I find it's really annoying and uncomfortable.
What are the differences between the house in the past and now?
Well, obviously, there are a number of remarkable differences here. However, I guess that the most significant would be that the decoration of my house, com- compared with the parks past. My house nowadays is more spacious and comfortable with more bedrooms. Besides, I have to admit that my house look more picturesque and modern.
Do you think what will the house in the future?
Wow, that is intriguing questions for me. That is an intriguing question for me. Well, I predict that the house in the future will have many considerable distinctions in terms of the house design and facilities as well. I mean, unlike the house nowadays, the house in the future tend to be more simple and modern. Moreover, speaking of facilities, I guess that robots will be used and become more and more popular with humans' life in the future, mainly because they could help people do household chores and and help them save plenty of time.
How do you feel when someone jokes with you?
Normally, I usually feel funny and happy with their jokes. Maybe in this situation, um, maybe in these situations, I would joke them again. We will laugh together as you can imagine. It's so funny.
Are you good at telling jokes?
Yes, I think a little bit. Many friends told me that I have a sense of humor, and every time when I tell jokes or stories, they could laugh off their sleeve.
Do comedy programs broadcast regularly?
Well, actually, in my country, comedy programs tend to be more prominent with Vietnamese, especially with young people. So, as you can probably guess, these shows usually broadcast not only on the TV but also on the internet, such as YouTube or Facebook, and so on.
Have you ever been to a comedy live show?
Yes, as far as I remember, a couple a couple of years ago, I had an golden opportunity to watch a comedy live show in Ho Chi Minh City with my aunt. However, nowadays, I have to admit that I have a tight schedule as well as limited budget. So once in blue moon, I go to comedy live show to watch.
Describe a movie that you make you think a lot.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk about The Beauty and the Beast remake, which I think is one of the best movie that I have ever seen. Honestly, I am a big fan of Emma Watson, and I remember I was so excited when I knew Emma was going to play Belle in the film. Speaking a little bit of what the film is about, well, it's about the love between a beautiful girl named Belle and a hideous beast who used to be a handsome prince. But because of his arrogance and vanity, he and all of the people in his castle was punished by an enchantress who has powerful spell to turn him into a beast. She gave him an interest rose, and she said if he couldn't learn to love a girl and earn her love in return until the last petal fell, he would remain a beast forever. What I learned about the film is that it is it taught it taught me how to become an independent woman and how to see the good in people despite their appearances. Besides, I've learned a lot from the character Belle, who is very strong and independent woman. Thus, we should not judge a person just by his or her appearance. Actually, I've learned a great deal from other characters too, but I know that I don't have enough time to talk about all of it. So, in summary, Beauty and the Beast is one of the greatest movies that I've ever seen.
What is the most popular kind of film movie in Vietnam?
Well, in my opinion, I think it depends on each person in my country. Each person enjoys different kinds of movie that depends that depend on their hobby and personality. Generally speaking, I think that comedy films is recently the trendy movie because comedy is the best way to make them feel excited and reduce their stress and recharge their battery. So I think is comedy movie is more and more popular nowadays.
What kind of movies do old people like?
From my point of view, I think most elderly have a fancy for documentary movies or historical films, or maybe films about the love of family. Mainly because these kind of films really practice call with their real life.
Do young people like to watch historical movies?
I think it depends on the preference of the individual. I know many youngsters in Vietnam enjoy watching historical movies and learning history. This is because they really curious about the past, which could and this kind of movies can make them be patriotism and grateful with liberty and freedom of their country.
Why do Vietnamese people like watching historical movies although they won in this war?
In my view, I think there are a number of reasons. The main reason that I should mention for you is that watching historical movies could help them broaden their horizons and enrich their knowledge about the histories of Vietnam. And as I said before, it also makes them increase their patriotism and the proud of their ancestors.